Yeah.
All right, the mic is on.
And then you want to go to that, yeah.
And all right, just look
Waiting
at people.
For people to roll on in.
All right. Oof. Okay.
Rolling. What?
And this thing.
You got all undressed? Why?
Well, I took my tiara thing off because sometimes it makes my head itchy.
Ew.
Or sometimes it feels kind of
Ew.
like
Do you have it on
tight.
the right chat thing?
Yes. It's set to live chat.
Ain't nobody here, though.
Well, it takes a couple minutes.
A piece of cheese?
Sure.
You keep that by yours a couple
Oh,
pieces.
no, I don't need all that. I'm good.
Oh, righty.
Okay. Oh, there's people in the chat now.
Mm-hmm. They can see you.
They can, and I can see them.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Lawrence. Hi, Wiki Bobby. The Comic Book Man Rich. Jennifer Delaney. Connie Cleary. Hey, guys. Some night owls are creeping in. And we will give it a few minutes. We're getting situated here.
Dapper. I'm going to put down Mr. Well. Barba Papa there. Do that too.
Got my notes, which I don't have a ton of notes.
Notes. It's like being in school. With
Well, I wrote down like an idea of what we want to talk about.
I know,
a little
topics.
Bit.
I know. I just
but it's
busting
not
your
like,
chops.
word for word. I won't be like reading off of a script or anything.
I know. I'm just being a pain in the ass like I usually am. That's my job, okay?
Oh, yeah. Mr. Dan is here. Randall Drake is here. Amanda Childers. Rob's Vintage Video. Greg Dominski. Lawrence. Alberts. Mary Grace. Bone Jangler's back.
All the cool kids.
He says hoot hoot. He's a hooter over there. Sean's over there too. Hey there, Sean.
Hey there. Hi there. Ho there.
Hey there. I'm a little sniffly, but that's okay.
Oh, you'll get through it.
Let's okay, ready to start?
Well, I'm ready to start. Okay, ready? And action. Hey everybody, welcome to another fun episode of The Mummy and the Monkeys. Hairy, scary, hangover. We're your hosts, Grim Gory and
Janet Decay, the Mummy.
That's right. We're just this is the after show, right?
Our after show chat show, don't you know? And this is, we lost count of the episode numbers of The Hangover.
Oh, I don't even really count those.
I just put the date of whatever today's date is, so that people know it's the newest one. But I think we lost count like a couple years ago.
Wow, we have to hire someone to come in and check all that.
For a while, we used to number the episodes like the Harry Scary Hangout. Our other show we host
from one if you want to.
It's okay. I'll figure it out one day. I'll go
Volume 2.
One day I'll go through and count them all.
You could just do
This is not one of those days.
We could say this is season 2, episode 1.
Yeah. We could.
I don't know. Who cares, right?
It doesn't. As long as people know it's like the newest one that they can watch.
This show is off the records. Okay, this is something that it's only for us. Like it's not really for.
Well, no, it's for them too.
I mean us, everybody in the chat now.
Oh, for all us, you mean us collectively?
It's only the people that are here. What happens here stays here, type of thing. It's the back room of the club.
What happens here stays on the internet for everyone to see.
I know, but
for many years to come.
But I'm creating that false sense of of security. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just for fun, just to illustrate the idea for the concept of this show is not to be one that has to be filed, officially. This is just random stuff.
So this is just our casual chat show where we talk about movies and pop culture, things like that.
I like that.
We could talk about some movies that we've seen recently.
Talk about your
shows
mama.
And things like that.
No. Well, we might do that.
Let's read a few comments and then.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I can't see.
Okay, Lawrence. So where are those Barb ski clothes from? What you were sorting earlier today? No, that was from another Barb ski lot.
Yeah. There's a lot of Barbski going around.
That was from, I think we did that skit about a year or so ago.
Yeah, if you want any information about our thrifting stuff, more than likely you have to check out our Living the Scream podcast.
Yes, our Living the Scream podcast or our eBay vlogs.
Yes.
So that's there. And
lots of content on our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about starting up another one that's just rescued real stuff.
Oh.
A YouTube channel.
We've considered making a separate channel for some of those separate topics.
Because we have tons and tons of stuff that we need to do something with that doesn't confuse, doesn't get too muddy with the Mummy and the Monkey stuff and da. So
maybe.
But I mean, Rescued Reels will still be part of our show. But I think
it'll be like
its own channel would be a lot clearer to people that are into the found media, instead of going to Mummy and Monkey and then digging through our our channels or our, what do they call those things?
They do that with TV all the time. Like All of the Family, and then later wasn't it Archie's Place? Didn't they do a spinoff?
Spinoff. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about how to find it.
No, I'm just making a bad joke.
Well,
but
we got hundreds of shows, but it's just a matter of how.
Like Three's Company, and then what was the spinoff?
Three's Company 2. Right?
No, it was I don't
Poor's a Crowd.
He where he was a chef somewhere.
I thought it was Three's Company 2.
Was it called Three's Company 2?
I think so.
I don't remember.
It's on one of those stations.
Okay.
But anyway.
So anyway, we last week was St. Patty's Day.
It were. We didn't do a show last Friday.
We didn't do a show last Friday because we the Oscars.
Yes.
The Horror Film Awards. It's like their version of the Oscars.
Over on the Horror Addicts
YouTube channel aired last Friday night, and it was right like at the same time that we would normally host a show.
So we took the night off?
So we thought it would be best to take the night off so then they could do their show and then we could watch it and be a part of it.
Well, we sent in a pre-recorded bit that they used.
Well, we did, but I mean, when I say be a part of it, I mean say hello to people in the chat and things like that. To just kind of be supportive of it.
Yes.
And, it was cool. It was neat to see.
Yeah.
And it's all fan-based where fans vote and suggest things. So if you guys follow the Horror Addicts YouTube channel and see their movie reviews and stuff like that, and if there's a movie or something that you believe deserves recognition for next year's award show, you can always contact them. So for movies coming out this year for 2025.
True that.
Okay, well, we watched.
Oh boy.
So yeah, for St. Patty's Day, we had our corned beef and cabbage.
That's right. And
carrots and taters.
Yep. Very good.
Very yummy
meal, like we always make every St. Patrick's Day.
So yummy. And then we watched Leprechaun.
Yes, we finally we decided. I mentioned we have that 7-film DVD set that we've been trying to find for years. We had it on here. Finally found it sometime last year. I'm like, we put it in a special place because we're going to definitely watch at least one of the movies, because I haven't seen any of those movies in a while. The first one definitely in decades. And after we watched it, I remember maybe why I didn't watch it in decades. Now, no offense.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years.
No
and
offense.
We watched it last week for the first time in a long time.
To anybody that likes these movies, I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm just saying the first one has
so the special effects are really cool.
Yeah, the practical stuff.
For it being a really cheesy B movie.
Yeah.
The effects are pretty cool.
Yeah, the makeup.
The makeup and everything look incredible.
Warwick Davis as Leprechaun, of course.
Yeah.
The guy from Willow, and he was one of the
the little person
Ewoks.
Actor.
Yeah, he was one of the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi, Wicket. But Warwick Davis, he's very good. The makeup on him was amazing. Okay, it
was really cool makeup.
I love his makeup, and like you said, some of the practical stuff was really good. Even their version of not CGI, but the animated effects were really neat.
Yeah, I thought overall, like, the effects were done really well for it being story, like a really bad movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was Jennifer Aniston's first movie, I believe, right?
Yeah, that was, I think, one of her first movies, and there's a lot of actors that got started acting in...
Leprechaun, no.
Not in Leprechaun, but, like these cheesy movies. Like, okay, Jack Nicholson... Little Shop of Horrors.
But it's okay.
Yeah,
so
there were a lot of them.
As much as I kind of like not a big fan of remakes, this movie could probably use a remake, a reboot. I should say.
Only if it was practical effects.
I don't care.
Make the story a little bit better.
That's a different topic between you and I, whether practical CGI. To me, CGI is just another
practical
tool.
effects are best.
They're good.
That's my opinion.
But a good story, it wouldn't matter if you're not going to go. The story was amazing, but they use CGI effects. I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That to me is like, it's superfluous. It doesn't matter to me.
In my opinion,
if it's practical.
I prefer practical effects because it looks more real to me.
Yeah, if they were true to what they're doing, they would definitely, if they rebooted this series, they would use practical effects just to make it true to the genre.
Right.
Yeah. But this movie, I think, could use could do for a reboot. And I'm not talking about reboot it where he's in the hood in a tree. And the news was there for 2 hours.
Well, didn't he go to space in one sequel?
He went to the hood twice.
So, yeah, there were all these really bad sequels of the Leprechaun series. I remember the Leprechaun in the Hood one.
Yeah. And then the next one was Return to the Hood.
I don't think I saw every single Leprechaun
Well, we should have
sequel,
watched more.
But I did see some of them. And then we started to watch Leprechaun 2.
We did. We didn't watch any of that. Oh, yeah, we did.
No, we did start to watch it, but then I think I fell asleep through part of it.
Yeah, and that one seemed a little more promising.
But with that one, they changed the story completely.
Completely, yeah.
Where he's, like, looking for a bride, and he's over in Ireland.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did start watching that.
Yeah. And it's, like, it was way different.
But it seemed better.
It seemed like it was better quality. Maybe the story was a little bit more interesting, but I don't know. But the Jennifer Aniston, it was cute to see her in that movie. You know, she was super young, and it was just, you know, that was like one of her first movies. Yeah. And the story was so big, like really. So her and her dad, they move into this house out west.
That was previously owned by an uncle of hers or something. Or a relative of the family.
No, it was owned just by... No, they got a deal on the house.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't...
Her father bought this house out west.
But before...
They got a deal on it, but 10 years before, an old couple were killed in that house by the Leprechaun.
Because the guy stole the gold from the Leprechaun. He caught the Leprechaun.
He caught the Leprechaun, and he wanted to get the Leprechaun's gold.
Well,
but the Leprechaun was trying to kill them.
So that ancient Irish folklore is like if you capture a Leprechaun, they have to surrender their gold. Yeah, their gold, and he did, but this Leprechaun doesn't stand for that. It's 100 pieces exactly of gold.
So he kills the guy's wife. And then
the dude survives.
The dude somehow survived, but he has the Leprechaun like in this wooden crate.
You can trap a leprechaun by putting a 4-leaf clover on the leprechaun or anywhere near it. And
there was a 4-leaf clover on top of the crate. If you trap him in
something and put the 4-leaf clover on top, he can't go nowhere.
That is like his kryptonite. Yeah.
Right. That and Lucky Charms. But he don't like Lucky Charms.
He doesn't like Lucky Charms.
Remember he tried Lucky
Charms?
He tried them. He spit them out.
But
so then 10 years later, fast forward, these people get this cheap house. They go in, of course.
Of course, someone has to open the crate.
Well, the 4-leaf clover blows off, and now the Leprechaun has his powers.
Now he's got his powers. He's starting to get powers back, and he's like manipulating. He was like tricking people into opening this crate, thinking there's a little kid trapped in there.
Right. Well, anyway, you have too much detail.
But so he busts out of the crate. He starts to run amok and starts to do some damage. And
so it's Jennifer Aniston and her father and some painting crew that's there to help paint the house.
But the painting, oh gosh, the
painting crew is some like hunky guy, and then like a kid, and then like of mice and men, like, you know, what's his name in that
that type of dude. Yeah.
He's, you know, on the spectrum, as we would say now.
Yes.
But and then so there's this whole thing, and the guy on the spectrum swallows one of those coins.
He ends up eating one of the gold coins by accident.
He tried to bite it, and he swallows it. So now you know where this is going to probably go. But they didn't even that payoff was no spoiler alerts. But I thought he was going to rip that guy's belly open, but it never happened.
No, it didn't. You would think he would.
Or,
you know, and that would be a crazy. Or the leprechaun's like waiting for him near the toilet for him to poop out the coin.
I want to be gold.
And he's like digging. Yeah, like I was picturing, like it could go either way. Like he rips the guy's stomach open, or maybe he's waiting.
They're not going to do.
Maybe he's giving the guy Metamucil to like crap it out. Like
Metamucil. Shamrock Shake will do that too.
There you go.
Make you poop your pants.
Some McDonald's.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. You know, but it was
so bad.
It's like choking down.
But it was really enjoyable. You know, we did enjoy watching.
Well, it was because it was the day to watch it.
And it was it's St. Patrick's Day. We thought it was appropriate to watch it.
It just seems like there's so much potential for like a really good evil Leprechaun movie. You know, something like Full Moon Studio could pull off.
Are you thinking like a more serious type of thing?
It doesn't have to be. It could be a dark comedy.
It just
needs
goofy.
To be better written.
Yeah.
Better cast, better, everything.
And it had a lot of the movie cliches, like, oh, the Jeep wouldn't start, the car wouldn't start, oh, check the distributor cap, or oh, the phone isn't working.
Yeah.
They pull that
tropes.
crap.
It should have just been called trope.
Yeah, but there was a lot of that, horror tropes. Or Jennifer Aniston trips, and falls.
Because the girl always has to fall.
The girl is, she tripped and fell.
She's helpless.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that going on where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's really.
I don't know if I could ever watch that movie again. I don't need to because
I don't think I need to watch it for another 10 or 20 years. I'm good.
Right.
But I did like the makeup and the effects.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only takeaway from the movie.
That's what I think made the movie more watchable.
Yeah. Now we have 6 more movies to watch now.
So
well, 6.5.
Let's read some comments and then we can chat about other things.
Okay.
Amanda says, I haven't seen that movie in years. Travis says the Leprechaun did rip someone's belly for his pot of gold in the second film.
Oh boy.
Okay, so we probably missed that scene because I didn't watch all of the second one.
Pot of gold.
Because we have part 1 and part 2 on a disc together. It was
we
probably...
have a 7... We have... Yeah, the disc has 7 movies.
It has 7 of them?
It's all 7 of them.
I thought it was only 1 and 2.
No.
What the heck?
You want me to go grab it?
No, I believe you.
It has
I kept thinking only 2 movies were on there.
It's the 7 movie collection.
Wow.
Yeah.
They made 7 of those, huh?
I said it 7 times already, yes.
Okay.
He goes to space.
And Travis says it also has Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Right,
Yes,
and that's all I kept doing.
I don't remember that actor's name, but yeah, he is one of the painter
Well, he's
guys.
the Spectre. He's the guy in the Spectrum.
Yes, he plays the
who has like maybe
special needs guy.
Well, and there's a part where the kid's like, we're gonna use the gold to get you a brain operation. Like you could just do. And
well, the kid doesn't.
He was lying.
This is like a little kid talking.
No, he was lying to him because he wanted to give him hope. Yeah.
Oh.
Because Jennifer Aniston said, "There's no operation that can fix him." You know.
Joseph says, picked up the Criterion 4K restored Night of the Living Dead picture.
I thought he was going to say Leprechaun. What?
I don't know if
the Criterion.
Do they have a Criterion version of that?
I don't think that'll help at all.
No, that wouldn't help it. No, he got Night of the Living Dead, the Criterion.
That's a little
4K.
That's a different
That sounds
thing
really
altogether.
cool.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Fulton says, Janet was faking sleep to get out of Leprechaun 2. Not going to judge. I did the same.
Oh, boy.
No, I think I really did fall asleep through it.
Yeah, I just wonder what goes through these people's minds when they're making movies like this. Like, they got to know how bad they are when they're making them. I can't imagine you can't not know.
Comic Book Man says Leprechaun Returns was pretty good, even though it wasn't Warwick Davis.
Oh, it wasn't?
So it was a different actor in the second one. I didn't know.
Realize.
Yeah. Lawrence says Leprechaun, the first one was the cheesy, funny first, and that was one of our friend from Friends first, but it didn't have the luck of the Irish.
So who was a little person in Leprechaun 2?
Who played the Leprechaun in Leprechaun 2?
Was it Tom Cruise?
It wasn't Tom Cruise.
I'm sorry, I'm just, you set him up, I have to, he would make a good Leprechaun.
Wiki Bobby says, I saw the toned down version of Warwick Davis's kid movie, The Unlucky Leprechaun, where he's a good leprechaun helping a girl. Oh, so there's like a friendly kid version, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
see. This is the Tone Loc version. That's what I want to see. The tone. That's my
Too tall for Tom Cruise.
No.
He's making a joke.
They don't get the joke.
They don't get the joke.
Tom
and then
Cruise.
Bone Jingler says the Criterion Night of the Living Dead is awesome. Saw it in the theater. Super cool.
We can't put a good movie up against a bad movie.
So I remember I saw Night of the Living Dead in a theater once, and it wasn't back when it came out, obviously.
You saw it at the movie theater?
I did.
That's cool.
Well, I saw it at a movie theater in Medina.
I've never seen it on the big screen.
In Medina, Ohio.
That's
on Medina
awesome.
Square, there was a real tiny movie theater that only had one screen.
I never thought that
they were closed for a while. Then someone else bought the building, and it's a really, really old building. And they were open just for a little while around Halloween to play some movies. And on Halloween, they played Night of the Living Dead, or close to Halloween. So that was a really amazing treat to see it in an old timey movie theater on the big screen.
Yeah, that I've never experienced. That would be cool. I mean, they should.
And then now I don't think it's open anymore. I think it's like a religious group bought it, and it's like just for that group.
There is a we've never been to it, but there's like there was at that 12-hour film festival.
12 Hours of Terror.
Of Terror, where you can bring a sleeping bag and a pillow.
It's like an overnight experience.
But it's in a movie theater.
I'd probably fall asleep through most of it.
But they show all these like classic horror films like that and like iconic stuff.
Yeah.
Universal thing, whatever they get the license, I guess, or to show overnight. But I'd love to.
Yeah, they do that every October.
Oh.
12 Hours of Terror.
Oh my God, I'd love to do one of those.
So that's really I hear it's fun.
So what else are we talking about watching?
So, okay, some other things that we have
Or does anybody want to ask questions? Or...
And then if you guys want to add, if there's like some movies that you have seen recently, go for it. Put it in the comments. We want to hear what you guys are watching. What's good? Like what movies and shows are out there that you liked.
Yeah, I'm a big holiday, like whenever holidays roll around, I like to watch movies that are, pertain to those holidays.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Okay, so Riff Tracks. You said there were new Riff Track shows. You watched a couple of them. I think I fell asleep through them.
We did. We mentioned Things, which was really bad.
I did watch that one with you.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was weird.
I can't remember the name of the other one.
It was pretty bad.
It was just some bad karate guy movie type thing, but
yeah, it's some of the karate stuff, like the action movies are fun.
But yeah, I haven't watched anything that was like that memorable.
Nothing
No. But what you had some other stuff written down. We're going to talk about movies.
Just like TV shows that we were watching.
Oh, TV show, yeah.
Because we didn't watch that many movies. We watched Leprechaun and then some stuff from Riff Tracks.
Yeah, that's true.
And was that from their streaming app?
Yeah, the Riff Tracks friend subscription that I have, where they upload like a movie a month, something new.
Oh, that's cool.
To that, so you can check out some new material. But yeah, like I'm watching season 3 of Reacher now, which I really like. It's getting good.
I've watched parts of Reacher with you.
You've only seen but this show. Well, you watched.
He's a likable character.
The funniest thing. So I'm watching an episode from season 3, and of course there's the arbitrary scene where Reacher has to take his shirt off, or he's in his skivvies. And you came in on that part where he's walking around this hotel room.
Yeah, that was a nice part to see.
You're like, is that CGI? No, I said.
Well, that
guy does a lot of push-ups.
I didn't know because, like, in some movies they'll add like fake muscles to people.
No, that's him.
So I'm like, is that really him?
That's all that.
Those are his muscles.
His name is Alan Richson. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a big muscle. You're a big musclehead guy. I don't know why you married that guy you're married to, but he's like the opposite of that. He's. But
I like artists too.
Oh,
and nerds.
But yeah, okay.
All
right.
No,
but that was a funny question. Was that
yeah,
CG?
I was like, is that really? Because he's like, yeah.
Is that ILM? Did George Lucas is that foam rubber body or something?
Because in some movies they do that with like CGI and stuff. I wasn't sure. In today's special effects environment, I'm sure I had to ask. I'm like, is that really him?
I'm sure there's some other kind of enhancements going on there because to get that ripped it's a lot, and these guys juice and everything, and they do stuff. I'm not saying he does, but it's a lot of.
I don't know.
I don't know how you get that big, but
I just thought he looked good on the show. That's all I'll say.
Oh,
I'm not going into details.
Going back to Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, believe it or not, played that character Jack Reacher in a movie, which people when that came out were like, that's gonna be the guy from the novels. It's Tom Cruise.
I never saw those.
Reacher is that guy, but he's like.
But in the book, he's supposed to be giant.
He's supposed to be a big, like
a big dude, yeah.
A big dude who is a military, officer who was like, basically they're like, detectives, and but he's also very analytical and smart. He's like everything wrapped up in one thing. Like, what if you just had the big guy and then the smart guy? What if that was all one guy? So that's what's cool about that character. Like
brains and brawn,
everything, right? So
yes.
and he was, like I said, he was in the Hawk. He played Hawk in Hawk and Dove on in the Titans show, which I saw Reacher first, and then when I went back and watched Titans because I never watched that, I'm like, hey, there's Reacher.
Yeah, same dude.
But it's really cool to see it. But the first, my favorite season so far is season 2, and then season 1. But season 3 is okay. It's
so how many seasons did they make?
This is season 3.
Season 3. Okay.
Now, before, remember when they used to come out with a series on these pay services?
Yes.
Like Netflix or whatever.
And people would binge watch all of them in a week and then get rid of it.
They would release them all in one batch. But now they're doing this week to new episodes.
Because they want you to keep your subscription longer.
I wonder how how early on they understood they were going to do that.
Probably when everyone would binge watch everything in 1 week and then dump
one week they do it in a day.
Yeah.
They'd sit there for
watch everything and then get rid of it and move on to the next thing.
But I highly recommend Reacher. Like, start from season 1, obviously, and because it's written really well. His character is just like the casting in these shows is just it's dream casting. If they know what they're doing. Casting can throw just obviously any production off. There's lots of movies where you're like, this person doesn't really fit the bill. And I love Tom Cruise. I wasn't trying to say anything bad about him not being.
He's
a good
just
Jack
joking.
Reacher.
Yeah,
I'm not joking. I do like Tom Cruise.
No,
but a lot of people.
He's a likable actor. It's just he wasn't a good fit for the character. Right.
I didn't know anything about Jack Reacher. So when I watched those movies, I thought they were cool. But I heard, but other people that knew about it were complaining. I'm like, well, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Now I get it. But
okay, there's a bunch of comments here. Gary Smith watched Asteroid City on Stars a few days ago. Very unusual film with a retro futuristic version of the 50s. Tom Hanks, Scarlett Johansson, and Jeff Goldblum are part of the cast.
Jeff Goldblum, uh-oh.
And another Mission Impossible coming out this year, says Rookie Bobby Sonia.
Those movies are great. I love them.
And Kev says, I've been rewatching Ash versus the Evil Dead, the morgue episode, gross and insane.
See, we've only seen first.
We watched season 1.
There's two more seasons we got to get.
Yeah,
through.
we absolutely
have 2 here.
We absolutely loved season 1. We need to watch season 2 and 3.
It was really good. Finally, I mean, that to me is the.
Oh, it was good. Yeah.
Where it shows it knows exactly what it is, just in that series. The other movies are good, but this really fine-tunes everything.
David Phillips says, I saw Rabid from 1977 on Peacock, recommended to view again or for the first time. And then Richard says, Ricardo Montalban in Star Trek, great example of rubber muscles.
What's his name again?
Ricardo Montalban?
Ricardo Montalban from Fantasy Island.
Oh, that's him?
Mr. Rourke.
Oh, okay. I totally
Ricardo Montalban.
Montalban. I butchered that.
Welcome, everyone, to Fantasy Island.
And Travis Brown, I've been binging on buying Blu-ray. So he's been on a Blu-ray kick. Why
don't you pronounce his name Browen?
Who?
Nothing.
Oh, stop.
Browen. No, it's Brown.
Browen.
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 I'm just messing with you.
Sorry.
I
sometimes put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yes, I know. Like, what was it? Non sequitur. It couldn't even non sequitur. Maybe you just never heard that word before.
Sometimes, I don't know. When I'm reading something, I don't... Like, I hear words, but then when I go to pronounce it, I'm like... I butcher the pronunciation.
Ooh, maybe you should change your character to a butcher from a mummy.
Yes, and a word butcher. Cleaver, yeah. Yes, the word butcher. Fulton says, I just saw The Substance last night. Not bad. Was predictable. So I really liked it.
Wait a minute.
I didn't think it was that predictable.
No, it could be for some people.
I think there were some surprises there.
Okay, this is one of those movies, okay? It's like Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It's like that same type of movie.
Yeah.
It's done in such a fantastical way, but it's to explain, like, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was about being in love. It was about finding somebody.
It was about reconnecting with, like, because they were having some family struggles, so it was trying to work through. Ultimately, that was the message. Yes. It was like trying to work out through your family stuff.
In a fantastical way.
But in a really, like, bat shrimp crazy way.
Exactly. And I think The Substance is the same type of movie. Where it's about,
the unrealistic standard of beauty.
Yes.
And how it can consume people.
Yes.
And it was one giant metaphor for that.
Right. It wasn't a literal, like, oh, she's really turning it. No. It's all symbolic. And
yeah, it's all symbolism.
Yeah.
And that's why they had the gratuitous, we did an in-depth review on that several weeks ago.
It weirds, like, it's all calculated. I'm sure their whole, with The Substance, when Demi Moore's, when her main character, I'm going crazy here thinking, because the apartment building she lived in, when she opened her door to talk to the neighbor, it looked like some, crappy apartment in New York in the stairwell.
Yeah.
But her apartment was this all glass window.
Yes.
And what was in front of it? A giant billboard with her on it.
Yes.
What was behind her? A painting with her.
Yes, the old
she
version
was surrounded.
Of her.
See, it was all like she surrounded her.
Because that was her mind. That was all she was thinking about.
Think about it.
So that was a visualization of what was going on in her head.
Right. This wasn't. But you know what? But some people will watch movies and they don't see any of that.
Some people will just see it for...
I'm not saying anyone out there. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's different with how they interpret things, but...
But it's one of the... Yeah, because it's definitely one of those movies. Like, after we watched it, I sat there for a minute and I stewed a little bit. I'm like... And then it started hitting me.
Well,
like,
yeah,
afterwards.
Yeah, afterwards, even hours later, we were like talking about it. Like,
and
remember that part?
And then when it kind of gelled.
There were different layers
after we saw it, but it was one of the... And unlike Leprechaun, where we saw it, you're like...
Leprechaun doesn't have layers.
And I sat there
It's very straightforward.
And I wanted my time back. I was like...
There were no metaphors or other meanings. Or
It was what it was, but there was nothing...
It was just a killer Leprechaun, but you know what? It was still enjoyable.
Right. So, but yeah. And at first when I watched something, I was like, what the fuck? What the heck did I just watch? But we all have that same experience who are really into music with albums like that. You know,
because there's some song lyrics that can have like other meanings.
Or even a whole album. You're like, this is my favorite art. You listen to the album, you're like, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
and then a few hours or the next day, it starts
You're like,
gelling.
I get it now.
Like, and you start, I love stuff like that. I crave that kind of stuff. But Substance, not for everybody, but I think it was one of those types of movies.
Earl is over here off camera. I'm hoping he comes up. Come on, Earl.
What I didn't predict about that movie is that I would like it as much as I did. I thought I was going to be, whatever.
I was hoping I could grab
it. And then, you know what I did watch recently because I had to watch it. I was selling it on my eBay store. The movie The Stuff.
Oh, yeah, we haven't...
Which is very much like the...
It's like The Blob a little bit, right?
And The Substance.
And The Substance.
It's because The Substance was about, marketing, beauty,
Well, let's,
or body stand.
Enough of our gabbing. Let's go back to the comments. But if you haven't seen
the movie The Stuff in a while, it's a pretty fun movie.
Let's see. Wasp woman walked so the substance could run, says Mofei-chan. Yeah, The Wasp Woman is another really good movie. It's the same idea,
That popped into my head.
She's running like a cosmetics company, and she's getting...
a Fountain of Youth type of thing.
Yeah, like a Fountain of Youth thing. She's trying to keep up with appearances because of that unrealistic standard of beauty.
Yeah, there's a price to pay for that.
But, definitely. So, and it consumed her, and she turned into a monster.
Into a human wasp,
into a wasp
ultimately.
Woman, yeah.
But The Substance was a little bit,
Ginger Snaps has layers, says Fulton Pierce.
I love Ginger Snaps. You haven't seen it yet, though. It's like Twilight for werewolves, but way before Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
It's like younger,
it's got a cult
high school.
Following.
Yeah, and I have the first two somewhere.
Aren't they like teenage werewolves?
Girls, yeah.
Werewolf girls.
Yeah, and I was into it before. This was like before I was into it. This was all before the obviously after feminism and stuff like that because that was 60s, but. It was definitely had that kind of vibe.
Like
to
a
it,
girl power type of thing. Yeah, girl power vibe.
Before the girl power stuff was as popular as it's been the last couple of decades. And it was really cool,
I'm trying to remember if
different.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I wanted to watch it, but the disc wouldn't work that we had. But
that's right.
I have 1 and 2.
Yeah,
I
still need to see Ginger Snaps. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I know it's got a cult following. A lot of people really dig it.
At one point, and I'm like, wow, this is actually it's not what I thought. It's like like teenage angst, but you happen to be a werewolf.
We'll have to find a copy of it somewhere.
Yeah, we have it. So we have a good one somewhere on. We'll dig it up.
Jenny hasn't seen Ginger Snaps. No, I guess I haven't. And I guess
so good. It's
people
fun.
Can't believe that.
We'll take care of that.
I'll see it eventually.
It's probably
guys.
on Tubi.
Yeah. Cthulhu, I used to have a fake cup of stuff and a bottle of Viper from Street Trash. I don't know what happened to them. Lost in a move.
I got a stuffed cup somewhere. I thought I knew where it was and I couldn't find it. I was going to bring it on the show.
And James Oscarella, new snack toy alert. Harry Potter Hershey Butter Beer Kisses. What?
Oh, okay. He's got some new
snacks. He's having his own snack fun over there.
Yeah.
And
you like Harry Potter movie?
Yeah, I liked the movies.
I thought it was just like a kid's version of Lord of the Rings. It is because
yes and no.
What's the Harry Potter thing? One wand, right? The master wand.
A magic wand. Yeah.
But it's all about the one master one, right?
I haven't seen those movies in 20 years.
But Lord of the Rings.
I liked them, but I don't remember every detail.
The Voldemort.
He had a wand, but all the kids had wands.
They all did. But it all came down to one.
There was like one special wand, yeah.
I think the Voldemort one was the one they all wanted for some reason. It was like
it wasn't that like the evil one.
Like his parents were trying to get him this wand.
For a while, they weren't even saying Voldemort's name. Wasn't it like he who shall not be named? Yeah.
But I remember the one movie I saw.
Elder Wand is saying says Fulton.
Yeah, the one ring to rule them all. I think the wand it's the same sort of loose concept.
Well, they're kids in a magic academy or magic school.
But I know all stories about.
Of course, a magic wand would be a part of it, or a magical item. So,
but everything was magic.
And Amanda says I've been binging on Buffy reruns. Buffy the Vampire
Now that show
Slayer.
you're familiar with.
So Buffy is one that I didn't get into when it first came out.
No.
But then years later, they're playing reruns on Comet TV.
I'd be interested. I've never watched it.
This is pretty likable. But maybe because some time has passed and now it's just kind of cute and retro. But I did like the vampire makeups. So some of that's pretty cool. Is
Reacher in it?
No, Reacher's not in it. Some of the vampires look cool, and Buffy's cute. It's a cute show. It's like a vampire.
I never watched
soap opera for teeny boppers.
I saw the movie, the original movie that came out with Luke Perry and what's her name, the blonde chick.
Oh yeah, and then there was the movie when did the movie
early
come
90s?
Out? Yeah, it came out like way before.
I remember seeing it at Southgate Mall. I saw a lot of movies there.
Oh,
the cinema there, but yeah, that's a weird movie. But I need to watch that again, too, because it was one of those movies that I didn't get, but I bet you I didn't get it because it's good.
Justin Jallo says, I think the Harry Potter butterbeer goldfish are just the Elf maple syrup goldfish repackaged because they taste exactly the same. Oh, wow. And here, they used to have Jelly Belly put out Harry Potter weird jelly bean flavors.
Yeah.
Like they had booger-flavored jelly beans.
They ate boogers in Harry Potter.
Like all kinds of weird flavors, like soap-flavored jelly beans. Like what?
Well, you can watch those kids grow up in those movies, too. They all start as those little craps,
Yeah, yeah. They really did.
Cute British kids, they talk like this,
They really did grow up in those.
And then now they're all,
They're all grown up.
Now they're old now, but.
Yeah, they're probably like 30 by now.
Dirty Potter.
Time flies. All right. David Phillips says the Cinematech is great. Please support. Took me a minute. I'm like,
Montalban.
That's the Cinematech. Okay.
Cinematech. They have they show a lot of old films too.
Vomit flavored jelly beans. Yeah. They did. They had all the
in Harry Potter.
No, it was just the weird flavored jelly beans because they had like weird jelly beans in Harry Potter. So then Jelly Belly put those out for a while. The Jelly Bean Candy Company.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like a lot of kids love Harry Potter, and that if you grew up watching that must have been something, But for me, it's kind of a mad thing for me.
John says, first time I watched Harry Potter, I had to turn on the captions because I couldn't understand their accents.
I love the British.
I love British accents.
I watched, me, I watch a lot.
Yeah, those I can understand fine.
I love British, Scottish, dramas. I get a lot of those things on DVD when I'm working. I put those on in the background. Love them. Mm-hmm. I think I might have talked about this before, but there's like all these horribly violent murders and things going on.
And it's
this really beautiful landscape. It's so
among the English countryside.
It's just amazing. Like this horrible stuff can go on there, and of course anywhere. But But I love those shows. I love those different kinds of shows. I'm watching one now.
Like the mystery type of thing. They're trying to figure out who. It's like a whodunit.
I think it's called City on the Hill with Kevin Bacon. Great. It's so good so far. I'm like 3 episodes in, loving it. It's so good. Really gritty. I love gritty, and this takes place in the early 80s. Like
could they not afford the eggs? You said they had Kevin Bacon, but where were the eggs?
I don't know who that would be.
Bacon and eggs.
Kevin's Bacon.
I'm just trying to make a bad joke.
Oh, and it was bad. You did.
Was it excellent?
Kevin Bacon is excellent in it. That's a better joke.
There we go. Extraordinary.
Yes, but he's good in everything. I mean, even in Footloose, the guy was. And I think it was in The Outsiders, Kevin Bacon. He might have been. He's in a lot of stuff.
What are you most looking forward to? New Superman or Fantastic Four, says Kev Thulu.
Good question.
Good question. Probably Superman.
I'm a
because
Marvel
they
Comics
filmed
guy.
Parts of it in our city.
Oh, a lot of it in Cleveland. Yeah, I wish we could have been
downtown.
Somehow extras in it. That would have been great. I was an extra for a very blurry extra in Captain America Winter Soldier, I believe
Yeah,
it
we
was.
were thinking of trying to be extras for Superman, but
Because they were really looking for people at one point.
But we couldn't
break away
to be gone for like 14 hours a day or 12
Those
hours
long
a day. Because even as an extra, you put in long hours.
Mm-hmm. Even if and you might not
because
even
it's
be on the
that
phone.
hurry up and wait where like everyone's hanging out and you wait many hours before they even set up the scene
which
to
one
shoot.
you looking forward to?
Yeah.
So I'm a Marvel Comics guy. Always as a kid. I like DC stuff too. But
right.
I was more of a Marvel guy. So I mean, this is going to be strike 3 for Fantastic Four if they don't get it right. They already tried 2 different studios, tried 2 different versions.
The Roger Corman version's the best.
Actually, okay, maybe this is strike 4. You're right. I forgot about that.
The Roger Corman Fantastic Four is actually enjoyable.
Technically, it is the better of the 3 of the other 2 versions that came out.
Yes.
This one might be the one though, because I think they're doing it in the 60s. It's going to have that 60s feel like The Incredibles did.
So it'll be like retro and
a lot of comic industry people say, and I think we've had this conversation with Tom and Lois, our friends that are in the comic industry, that if you want to see the Fantastic Four, a good film, watch The Incredibles, because it's
pretty much the same thing.
The Fantastic Four movie, live action or animated, should have been.
It's what inspired.
Oh, even to the end where we're at the end of The Incredibles. After they defeat the main guy that they're fighting, at the end, a guy from the Earth pops up with little rodents, like the Mole Man, who was the Fantastic Four's first villain. But he wasn't the Mole Man. But you could see, you knew what they were doing.
Okay.
But they were paying homage to the whole Fantastic Four thing. But anyway, I would say I'm gonna hope, fingers crossed, that because it seems like they're getting better. The studios are getting better at not straying too much from the canon that the movies are based on. That's very important. That's the fan base you want to attract. Why would you reinvent?
Lawrence also likes Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it's good. We just watched a making of it.
I liked Corman's for what the budget was, says James October.
Yeah, it was good.
And
it wasn't bad.
Albert says, love the movie The Incredibles.
You haven't seen that yet.
And then the Butler did it, says Stir of Echoes has a good creep vibe to it.
That's a good movie. Kevin Bacon vehicle.
I need to see that one.
We watched Stir of Echoes. You don't remember that movie?
I don't remember that one.
We watched it on VHS tape one time, a while back. But
I guess I need to watch it again.
You should pop it. It's really good. I love that movie.
Joseph says, sorry, Grim, but I think DC rules. He's a DC guy.
I know. There's that back
I like
and forth.
mostly Marvel, but I like some DC stuff too.
Well, DC and Marvel is 2 totally different approaches to comic books,
right?
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
I know, and this is in the infancy of comics. DC created the Superman and Batman, some of the first superheroes, right?
But I really love the X-Men. I think that's what got me into liking Marvel more. Because I loved all the different mutant characters, and I loved the whole idea of it.
Stan Lee had a very original idea to say,
it was so cool.
Let's get these superheroes late for their rent checks, having marital and relationship
and Spider-Man.
problems.
Everybody loves Spider-Man.
Well, but that's what made Spider-Man interesting.
Yeah.
Is that, as to quote Stan Lee, his characters had feet of clay. They were people. They weren't just, I'm Superman, I'm Batman, let me fly around the world and spin everything backwards, or I can stop, nothing can hurt me.
You got to hear about their inner struggles.
Yeah. If you read any of those old comics, and again, they probably
instead
never
of
thought to
being
do
very,
that. But that's what innovation's about, right?
I guess statuesque and everything's fine and I'm a super
that's
human
how they
guy.
were. Even Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
and when she was just running around beating the Nazis up, and that was it. It was
and here I am in my invisible plane. Whee!
Yeah, there I don't think there was any relationship issues other than I don't want them to see me as this person, so I have to change in the phone booth, that kind of stuff. But Stan Lee took it a whole.
Wonder Woman is pretty cool though, because she was like one of the first women's superheroes.
There were a lot, but there were jungle ones and other ones.
One?
There were other jungle heroes, but in all kinds of genres in comics. But Stan Lee said, "Hey, let's really write these people like people."
Yeah.
Like again,
to give them more personality.
They're having bad hair days.
To give them
can't
different.
Find their sock in the laundry. No one ever did that in comics, and Stan Lee innovated comics that way. He used X-Men to parallel the civil rights movement that was going on at the time.
Bone Jangler says, "I think this Fantastic Four will be much better than those others."
Yes,
it looks promising.
They're going to do a 60s vibe to it.
The trailer looks promising.
When we've had this talk with other people that are in the industry, Tom and Lois, our friends, and that's they described if they need to be like that, and that's how somehow the studios figured it out. Mm-hmm. It was there all along. but they just never. They wanted to reinvent it. We'll make it better. Don't we know movies? We'll
Yeah.
No. It's all because all comic books are storyboards with a script.
Nathan says, I was a huge Batman fan growing up,
Love
so
Batman.
I leaned toward DC back then, but overall I like DC and Marvel about the same. Yeah, it's hard because they both have great characters like Batman.
It's not the question of the
Superman,
characters.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, those are iconic. You know, I grew up. I have boxes full of comics here.
Oh yeah,
I loved all of it growing up, but I was definitely more of a Marvel guy.
Catwoman.
Yeah, you're talking about the TV versions you like.
Yes.
The TV show, the season
Eartha
show.
Kitt.
Yeah.
Eartha Kitt and Julie Newmar were amazing.
But anyway, but they have different approaches, and then obviously DC started doing it. And when you have something like James Gunn coming in, who understands, and the great thing about James Gunn is that he digs deep. He brings out characters that people and the fans.
So I'm thinking the Superman is going to be really good because
I saw some cameos in there. I'm like, dang, I think it's going to be really
fun to watch.
Yes, you just don't throw the same people in. Like when he did the John Cena version of the Peacemaker, when that the TV
and to know that they filmed a chunk of it in the birthplace of Superman.
Right, Superman was created here in Cleveland, Ohio.
It's so fitting and it's so right to film the Superman movie in the hometown, the birthplace of Superman.
But that's the genius
in
of
Cleveland, Ohio.
James Gunn is all about keeping it real, making things. Like, it has to be shot there, you know what I mean? Let's not shoot this show in Canada. No offense to Canada, but but you could always tell when something like X-Files is shot. There's nowhere in this country, maybe Seattle would look like that. But they're supposed to. You don't even know what city they're in when you see X-Files. But it's a good show. But it's all shiny. But James Gunn gets
listening.
it. He's
I'm seeing
he
if
gets
he'll
it.
come over.
And I think he might be being used a lot. I wish there were more directors or people or studios that would understand that formula. It's not a hard formula to figure out. I don't think anyway. But his execution is perfect, and maybe that's where he is set apart from everybody else.
So Earl is off camera, and he'll walk over a little bit and then walk.
He's just interested in
he's like, I'm not interested,
hanging out. But anyway, I'm looking forward to the. But the only thing I've seen about the Fantastic Four movie that a lot of people are not cool with is Grimm. Hey, Ben Grimm's voice.
Oh yeah, his voice. I don't know. I'm like,
it should be like, hey, how you doing?
I always imagined him with a gruffer voice.
Yeah, but it's like, let's make this casserole here. It's like, oh, jeez. We're not getting it. It's like that's the part that's. But I'll bet I would imagine that they would maybe fix that. I don't know. And
I hope they
based
do.
on because
I imagine him with a gruffer voice.
A lot of films, they do a lot of stuff that they do a lot of pre-screenings, and then depending on audiences react, they'll tweak things, they'll reshoot scenes.
We'll see how it goes.
You never know.
Okay, there's a bunch of comments here, and then let's wrap up the evening.
Oh.
James Gunn did the Guardians of the Galaxy right.
Of course,
yes, I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Again,
love it.
The fact when that
such an unusual comic book where it's one of those things where you're like, wow, I can't believe they even made
I was like, because the
characters are just so unusual,
and nobody knows who they are.
It's like, and
it's not Spider-Man, it's not the Hulk.
They're not like the mainstream comic book characters.
No.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't believe they're going to take a gamble. I was excited about it, and boy, was I... It's my favorite Marvel franchise, I think.
And Travis says James Gunn really does a great job to make ragtag teams interesting.
When he pulled out the Vigilante from the Teen Titans comics, he kept the original '80s George Perez design suit. I was like, that's just brilliant.
And Kev Thulu, Doom Patrol, great show, so weird and trippy. God. We watched season 1; it was really good.
I saw all of the seasons.
You watched all of them. I haven't.
Loved. Oh my God!
But you liked them.
And to me, that captures the essence of DC Comics.
It's definitely strange.
The crazy thing about Doom Patrol, and this because I forget. I don't think Gunn did Doom Patrol, but it doesn't matter. I should know who did. Doesn't matter who did it. They understood that, because what's crazy is that when I would go back and look at some of my old comics from the 60s, there's these characters that are from this. I'm like, these characters, because I have a lot of Doom Patrol stuff, but I haven't read it in years and I forgot some of it.
But it's
just as wacky.
Such a throwback.
All they did was they went back and took the old comics and made them into a show.
Yeah.
I'm like,
The thing that fans have been wanting forever.
Well, because they're fans.
Right?
And what's your favorite representation is always Frank Miller's...
Oh, Sin City.
Sin City.
Sin City is still my favorite comic book
They
movie.
said, hey, here...
And it's just right from that book.
The book
like
is
it's already,
the storyboard.
It's already storyboarded.
The book is a script.
Just stick to the script.
Cast it. Shoot it.
Make it in real life.
And
make it pretty.
And make it look like the book.
Make it look like the book. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Make it look like the book. Make it pretty. And I'll watch it.
Which, with another franchise really quick, Hellboy, I wish they would do that with Hellboy.
Yeah, they should.
I wish they would make it look like a Mike Mignola, or Mignola, however you want to say it, comic. Like the black and white. They're making it all wacky with Ron Perlman. I love him. And then that guy from Stranger Things. And I think they have like 3 different Hellboys. They just need to make it look jaggedy and the darks and lights like they do in the Hellboy comics. Stylize it. Now with AI and stuff, you can do some interesting effects, I think, to make it look very close, just to make it look different, set it apart. Which is what you're going to see with Fantastic Four. It's going to look like
Albert says, "Wow, what is this Doom Patrol? Something that you should watch,
my Lord.
Albert.
It's not for everybody, but
if you like weird, trippy comic book characters, and
you'll love Doom Patrol.
Something like that. I think you would dig it.
And Brendan Fraser plays Robot Man, and he's brilliant. I mean, again, the casting.
He's a great actor. I don't
know if he's a great actor, but is he good?
I think he's underrated, and a lot of people used to make fun of him online and stuff.
He's kind of goofy.
Same with Nicolas Cage. Like a lot of people used to make fun of him online, but I think they're both good actors.
Brendan Fraser to me always looked like a beefed up version of Chris Kattan, and then somebody else said that. I'm like, okay, it's not just me. But he has a weird look to him.
Mo Fei Chen says, for Sin City, Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez knew what they were doing.
Of course, and they didn't deviate from.
That is such a great film. Yeah.
I love the look of it. It's just
it's so wonderful.
Even the second one, which a lot of people didn't like, I loved it.
Yeah, even the second one was...
A Dame to Kill For?
Yeah, it was still good.
I loved it. It was still fun. And
I just love how it's stylized
Mickey
and
Rourke
everything.
as what's his name?
Cool.
Oh my God. It's
so perfect. Messed up, so cool.
It's perfect casting. Bruce Willis and...
Stellar
Bella Teller. Donatella. The Ninja Turtle.
Stellar Tony Beller. I was reading it too fast.
You don't even know that guy.
He says Brendan Fraser and Gods and Monsters was good.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't seen it.
I like Brendan. Now I have a better appreciation for him since I saw him as Robot Man.
Elijah Wood, says Rachel Sheeter. She really likes Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood is great. I mean,
he was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Great actor.
Oh, yeah.
All very versatile and all kinds of weird stuff.
And Jean says, Calvin and Hobbes is my favorite comic, LOL.
They haven't made that into a movie.
They should make a Calvin and Hobbes movie, right?
That could be great. That's just so much
What
material.
if they did a live-action version?
They have to do it however it made sense. I mean, it could be a lot. But
that could be interesting, actually.
But Calvin and Hobbes, that was a kid that had a stuffed tiger
did they
that
ever
he would imagine.
Did they ever make an Archie movie?
They did Riverdale. They
did
the series.
Show Riverdale.
Yeah.
Well, no, but they should do like a movie.
Like why?
Like, I don't because
the best comic book.
Why not if they're making comic book movies?
Swear this was a comic. I have it. It's called Archie versus the Punisher or Meets the Punisher.
That's a real comic?
Yeah, I have it.
What happened?
I even have a pin on my hat out there. That's the Punisher.
Are
skull.
They like fighting crime together? Like what happens in this?
I'll have to dig the comic.
Does the Punisher help Archie?
I think they go on this killing spree.
Wow.
Here, Archie.
I need to see that. Is that for real?
That needs to be a movie. I mean, yes.
Archie versus the Punisher. That should be.
Tell her, everybody. I have the comic. I'll dig it up and show it to you.
I need to see this.
Yes.
Because the Punisher's pretty brutal.
Yes. Well, yeah. That's the whole point of the Punisher.
Damn.
You know?
Wow.
And it was introduced in Spider-Man comics in the 70s.
That's wild.
Because he was like the antithesis of because Spider-Man never killed anybody. Really, he didn't want to anyway. Accidents might have happened, but he never killed him.
See, because I like comic book stuff, but I'm going to admit, I don't know every single detail about comic books. I don't know every single detail about movies.
So comics got away with...
But there's a lot of movies and a lot of comics that I enjoy.
Comics got away with a lot of stuff movies couldn't get away with, even in the 50s.
Right.
And the 40s and 50s.
Well, because it was more imaginative.
To the point...
And you could just draw your worlds.
Especially in horror, because that's exactly when they started banning... when the comics code
speaking
came
of that...
Yeah.
The, who put those out? It was, based off of Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh, those horror comics?
The ghost stories.
Yeah.
And what were those from like the 60s?
Those were like,
the
Gold
70s?
Key comics. They were like,
I thought they were cool.
Yeah,
You had a stack of them, and I read through the whole darn thing.
Yeah, they're. I mean, because they were based on
Because it was based
accounts.
off of true stories,
Yeah.
like true people like witnessing ghostly
out of textbook
experiences.
stuff. Yeah,
And
comic
when I
books.
looked up some of them, I'm like, oh, that is based on a true thing.
Yeah.
There was one about a golden cape, and like a Viking. It was like a Viking cape, and they saw this Viking ghost. So I looked it up, and yeah, there is like
maybe
this...
James Gunn will make the versions of that. Like anything that guy touches is gold. Yeah,
I know, but I liked them. You know,
good.
and they weren't like super. Like, you know, it wasn't like a big name of comics, but I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, ghost stories.
Yeah. And you know what's going to happen? We're going to end this show, and then I'm going to remember all the cool stuff I wanted to talk about. I'll have to start writing stuff down. But I think we covered a lot of ground tonight. We had
Witching Hour Comics, good stuff, says Sean Freeman. Oh, okay, so he knows what it was.
70s.
Probably 70s.
So many
but some of the art
comics
in there was kind of cool, and it was like, oh, I get to sit down and read ghost stories.
Some of my favorite horror comics are like, for fun, are like the Charlton stuff, like Ghostly Haunts.
Yeah.
Dr. Graves.
Those are fun.
All those, like, you know,
the old-timey, like...
Steve Ditko.
Like scary story comic books.
Yeah, Pat Boyette stuff.
Yeah.
I love all that.
I love all that stuff.
Those cheesy 70s comics, Victorian stories, ghost stories.
Oh, yeah.
Everything with a swamp monster and all kinds of stuff like that. But anyway, I'm going for hours about this stuff.
All right, guys. We could
up.
talk about this forever. But now,
easily,
we're going to take a break.
Got
But
nothing else
we'll
to
be
do.
back, next week with another show.
We will.
And we want to thank you guys for tuning in. And we got to talk about movies.
Oh, my gosh. We'll
and
take better notes.
TV shows and comical books and all kinds of things. So thanks for chatting with us. If you like this type of content, please give the video a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit subscribe and click the little bell so that way you get notified whenever we upload a video or go live.
Sounds good to me.
So for now, good night, good fright. Mwah!
Sweet dreams, everybody. Good night.
Bye-bye. Oh, I'm supposed to click
You're
this.
driving. I can't see.
Okay. All right, bye, guys.